Awesome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Team Healy training call tonight. We're going to dig in and sort through all these wonderful Healy 2.0, as we are commonly referring to it, and talk about new additions and subscriptions and where to log in, how to access your accounts now. We'll talk a little bit briefly about your referral links, some support things, and then Jen's going to dive into the new account plan materials too. So if you have any questions as we go through, please drop them in the chat, and hopefully we'll have enough time at the end for whoever might want to.
Beth, you just muted. We can't.
Okay, I'm back. Everybody hear me? Okay, hopefully we'll have some time at the end as well. Maybe we'll do a little question and answer session. So jot down your questions throughout or drop them in the chat. We'll try to make a record of the chat box as well. So welcome everybody. Hope you are running your favorite Healy program right now, whether it's current, mental balance, or memory, to get your brains nice and fresh and going. So I'm a bit of a screen share. I'm going to talk briefly about the new additions and the subscriptions, and basically just a little bit of my own beliefs on this and kind of how we've been transitioning. I think this is a beautiful thing. I think it's a great opportunity, looking at what we're commonly referring to as, like I said, Healy 2.0. We're moving to what the industry has as mainly subscription-based models, which is great. It really does give us an opportunity to look for the value with our customers. We can use this model to provide a lot of and flexibility versus when we had the original Healy models, we were kind of just buying the full package, right? And now it gives us a little bit more of a growth opportunity to really change into a situation where we get to know our clients a little bit deeper, a little bit better, maybe have a little bit more interaction with people to find out their concerns, and really use that as an opportunity to custom tailor a package to really fit their needs. And also gives us a chance to keep in better touch with people, kind of check in a couple times a month, or at least on a monthly basis, to see how their subscriptions are going, or to introduce new ones. And we are still at the tip of the iceberg for all of this, so it's really, really exciting. I will say one little bit of a positive, note of inspiration is just to just keep in mind that we're all together. This is a completely new launch, new experience for many people. Have patience and grace. There's a lot of changes. Being on all of the corporate calls on a weekly basis, I've seen all of the transitions happening. I know that people in the trenches are working very hard to provide us the resources, and all of that continues to develop and evolve. So I'm really excited about it. Like I said, I like the view of this as kind of more of an a la carte system, if you will, to, like I said, create more value with people. So in the first version of the Healy, of course, we had the device cost itself was a little bit higher, and some of the subscriptions were available, but mostly you were paying upfront for your addition and your device. So to transition now, we're creating a much more sustainable revenue-based stream, and we're lowering the initial entry price of the actual hardware device and including some programs for free, which they'll have for life on the additions, and then some the subscriptions will be available for their first 3 months, and then they'll get to choose whether they want to keep that bundle. So what I'd like to do now is just run through this PDF and a PowerPoint that I will post all of the links to these. So if you can't see the fine print, don't worry, you'll have access to all this, but I just want to run through and mention a little bit about each one of the additions. So bear with me right now. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so hopefully everybody can see that. So this is Healy 2.0. So let's dive in a little bit deeper. Basically right now, we are looking at new pricing and subscription options, and we have 5 basic models. Okay, so you see this screenshot here actually tells you the price in euros and the approximate price in US dollars, depending on conversion rates. But we are looking at a lot of different ways to enter the Healy world, which is great. Starting with the Healy Gold. So you'll notice a little bit new terminology changes, new names for the editions, but I think it's provided a lot of clarification. So let's dive into each one of these one by one. Okay, so as you can see here, no subscription bundles. You can add subscriptions. You can upgrade any. So again, like entry point, right? So for anybody that is just kind of wanting to dip their feet, having any type of, entry point financially, this is an excellent version. Okay, so we'll talk about the Healy Advisor search model as well. So the Healy Gold is going to give you lots of opportunities, especially here, value added thing. You're looking at, let's say, a customer that's specifically interested in animals, using the Healy for animals, right? Now, we all know that we're, of course, going to use it for ourselves and our animals, but if they're going in from the mindset of just saying, I want this for my dog, my cat, my horse, they can enter in with the Gold program, and then they can add that, they can purchase that animal bundle, which comes with the animal kit, and then that subscription. So it's a very reasonable, price point entry in here. So the Gold is our first edition. Now, moving along, the next is called Healy Holistic Health. Okay, so as you can see, the Healy Holistic Health is 500 PV, approximately 830 euros, and around $1,000 US. What the Holistic Health is going to include will be your Gold Cycle page, again, 8 programs there, your bioenergetic support, which is your boost program, and your coherence, and then any additional program that Healy gives out for free. That's where that program is added on that page. It also has the mental balance, the Meridians 1 and 2 page, and of course the Healy Advisor search. Okay, so those are going to be your base programs for life. If you have this unit, you get all of that included for that price. For your first 3 months, you're now actually going to get a subscription package that will be included for 3 months. Now, please note, when you're enrolling people or creating an account and helping people with their purchase, it may look like that they're being charged for the subscriptions, but you want to look at the fine print and realize they are not. It's going to say if they choose to continue that bundle, they will be charged this price 3 months from now. Okay, so they do get this included for 3 whole months. That threw some people off because they were looking at that and seeing, wait, why is this additional charge there? But as you see in the purchase page, you're not actually being charged on your data purchase. Okay, so for the Healy Holistic Health, your subscription bundle will include the following 3 pages: your Bioenergetic Harmony 1 and Bioenergetic Harmony 2. So those bundle packages, every bundle that comes with an addition is actually continued on month 4 if the member customer chooses to continue with that. They receive a 40% discount on those bundles. So that's going to be at a cheaper rate than if they were to purchase all of those separately. But it is their option. No one is forced into this. So after the 3 months, if they're figuring out that they like to use those 3 programs, it's definitely a huge savings to get that bundle at a 40% discount. As you see, for the 3 programs, it would be $48 US. And that discount and that package price would continue for as long as they want to keep that subscription. Now, if they were to cancel that, they would go back and receive that 40% discount again. From a business perspective, in this side, from our viewpoint, we also receive PV to go towards our volume for the month. We do receive separate PV for all of the subscriptions. Okay, so you can see in this package, again, the only app you require to download is going to be your pink app, and the squiggly line or the wavy line for the app, that's your Healy Advisor search model. Okay, so the search model, again, is where you kind of use a hub to operate. That's kind of where your programs live if you have additional subscriptions or you want to check your input level for your Healy, whether you want that on a low output or high output. So that's the function of the Healy Advisor search, in addition to having that function of looking up conditions, if you will, and figuring out what programs are recommended. Okay, so any questions you have, I can't see the chat, but drop them in there and we can address those. Note as we get further in, sometimes people are asking, okay, where's the pain and stimulation program? Okay, so I will say this, that's going to come at a higher edition, right? But we have to remember the value of the gold cycle programs and all of these base programs is that instead of thinking everything is pain based, a lot of times we need to start looking at how to heal our bodies from different level, and using the programs such as the gold can be so valuable. It can help our body get into that balance state before we address other things. Okay, so there's a very succinct reason why we have built these kind of growing and expanding up through programs. Okay, so that's the Healy Holistic Health. Our next edition will be the Healy Aura. Healy Aura is 750 PV, 1,257 euros, and approximately 50 US dollars. Now, what is going to be included in the Aura is your gold cycle programs, your bioenergetic support page, mental balance, meridians 1 and 2, of course, your Heal Advisor search module, and the Aura scan. Okay, so this is really unique, guys. So we now have the ability to use part of the Blue Dot app, which has the function to scan your body, with the Aura module. If you guys are familiar with the full resonance package right now, when you do a resonance scan, it's scanning physical. With the Aura module, you now get the opportunity to just use the Aura. So this is going to scan your chakras, your emotional balance. So this is really unique for some people who have a pathway or interest in, searching more on an emotional level. Okay, so the Healy Aura will allow you to download all 3 of the Healy apps, and you can actually perform an Aura scan in the Blue app with the option to vibrate your results or take that into the Pink app and run some programs based on that. Okay, the subscriptions that come with the Healy Aura, again at the 40% discount, $80 a month, will be your fitness, bioenergetic harmony 1 and 2, your local stimulation, which is the pain program, and sleep. Okay, so again, this is a really enticing and effective price point entry to do a lot of the overall functions and give people to experience all of those subscriptions for which way they want to continue. Okay, so that's your Healy Aura. Right. Now our next price point entry is going to be the Healy Resonance. So your resonance is 1,000 PV, approximately 1,670 in euros and $2,000 US. As you can see, it's coming with your gold cycle, bioenergetic support, mental balance, meridians 1 and 2, and only the scan, but the resonance scan as well, and search module. Okay, the subscriptions that will come at $122 a month are going to be what you see listed: your fit, bioenergetic harmony 1 and 2, local stimulation, sleep, chakras, and learning. And this is the important thing to notice here between the difference between our original Healy version and this Healy version. You will actually get the bioenergetic revitalization, which is commonly as our anti-aging. This was a subscription before. This is now included on the resonance. It is a huge program. I have heard so many good things and great feedback about people loving this. So again, if you're looking at added value, this would be a point to tell people and note on that. And again, they can still different a la carte subscriptions as well. A lot of times people will probably think that they want to start lower. We all know the value of having the ability to scan yourself with the Healy Resonance on a physical level and the auric level. So now we have 2 ways to ask the Healy what's going on and get program recommendations. We have the Heal Advisor search, which we go in on that app and we can type in any type of condition and it will come up with program suggestions. And you're opting model, you can of course do your scans. Okay, so just having that advisor search on each of these editions is also a huge value. While the people might not have that particular, let's say they do a search and they need a particular program, well, if that keeps coming up for them, that's going to gear them towards maybe a particular subscription need. Okay, so you can, like I said at the beginning, really crafting a custom tailored to your people, which gives you a better connection, a better relationship with them, and just an opportunity to really give more results. You know, when people are addressing specific needs and then they see results from that, they're definitely more inclined to use this on a regular. So all kind of leading up into, you know, an evolution of meeting people's needs. So that is in its package, everything that's included with that, and then your subscription is still a good price point for that. Now, the final edition that we have to offer is called, and I don't know if you can see this, the name is at the bottom. I think I can't see my full screen, but the professional. Okay, so there was a lot of questions when we were delivering this new information, like, is the professional model now what our previous residence was? And no, that is not a fair comparison. Okay, so our current residence from Healy 1.0 was basically everything that Healy had put out through or prior to July 1st. The professional is everything that's listed in this package, and this is a one-time purchase. Okay, you can still upgrade whatever you purchase now. You can still upgrade this commission model, but what the professional adds to you is all subscriptions that you used to for monthly. Okay, so we're talking about that bioenergetic. We're talking about digital nutrition. So those are the that you will not have to subscribe to. This is appealing subscriptions. Okay, so this is a higher entry level price point, $41.69 for euros, which is approximately $5,100 US. It does have a large PV value, but you're going to get all of the programs, everything except for the animal module, because everybody doesn't have animals. So it's like one-stop shop, really good for professionals, people in the wellness industry that just want to have the full package and not have to consider monthly subscriptions, unless down the road we come out with, you know, continual programs that they choose to subscribe, they can add those. Okay, so hopefully that makes a little bit of sense of breaking down the modules, gets your brain going on kind of, you know, why we did these trends, what is positive to present to people, and really looking, again, like I said, at their value. Now, to discuss the bundles, right? So these are the bundles that are pre-packaged with the additions. Again, to quickly review, there's no bundle subscriptions with the gold. You get 3 programs with the holistic, 5 programs with the aura, and 7 programs with the resonance. If you choose to, this is what happens 4 after you have Healy. If people are thinking, well, you know, I kind of like that one, I like the fitness, but I don't really need the other 4, or vice versa, then we can get into a la carte pricing. But again, once you decline these extra special bundles, then you don't get the opportunity to go back to 40% discount. So if you'd rather a package, we can all and we have a new strategy outlines that people edition, the pain, look, areas of our physical, spiritual. I don't have a lot of detailed information on that. Something that's going to be released in the next month or 2 as a wellness. So, and again, if you bundle it, you'll receive the discount according to that previous slide we went on. As you can see in program, we have all subscriptions, or what we think of as programs, as our current Healy. I'm just seeing the beauty learning. So those are our base program. So those will be $20 a month or into a discount of like our higher levels. The therapist programs. Okay, so that was something again that was grandfathered into the original. We have the ability to have the therapist page and contract with a time waiver professional model. At this point, if you want the ability to do that, you would have to purchase that therapist page. Okay, you'll see the other program pages that are an option to purchase there as well. The another big difference is that in the Healy 1.0 or the grandfathered, resonance model, we had the Deep Cycle program page. That will now be subscription based as well. Okay, but again, you can kind of pick and choose. And the cool part is that you do have the ability to change these up on a monthly basis. Okay, so as we continue to dive into what we call the back office or the shop page or your customer login, it's going to be, you'll find that it'll be a lot easier to change your subscriptions, and we can start training on that as well. In the category 4, you'll see some new things as well. Personal Coach is a program that has not come out yet. And so these are subscription pages, again, that you can add on to your base modules. So it's a very, it's a very individualized approach that people can literally pick and choose, which is also good, as I mentioned, if you want to start people out on an evolution progress. Too much and find that they're not really using all the programs. So now you have an opportunity to, meet people's needs financially and from their wellness goals, and just kind of keep crafting it. And they can, these 3 months, I want to, focus on mental balance. So I'm going to subscribe to that if I don't have it on my edition. And then I'm going to change it up. And on month 6, I'm going to kind of explore with, Harmony 1. So in my opinion, that's really, really great because it kind of narrows down the focus and allows people to really see distinct benefits to running certain programs on a consistent basis. Okay, back to that slide on the upgrade. So again, you can start with any addition or upgrade just like we used to be able to, and there's kind of your price point jumps for that. Okay. This is a slide I put together. Again, let me kind of move this down. I don't know if I'm the only one that might not be able to see the full thing. Stephen Keller did a wonderful YouTube video on explaining this as well, and he goes into a little bit more detail about what each of the program modules do. So that link on the YouTube there is a worthwhile 45-minute presentation. Again, you can have the link to the PDF graphics that I just shared with you. And then talking about where we go for information now, okay? So I wanted to make sure everybody knew the sites. Your new back office is accessible at my.healy.world. There is continual upgrades. The focus right now from the company is simply stability of the website. So when you log in there, you'll notice that you can see your genealogy from a business perspective. You can get to your personal sign-up link, and they've recently loaded things in the academy for training. However, there is so much more to come, you guys, but they don't want to push everything into the website at one time. They're really taking this in stages so that we can make sure we have a smooth transition. The important thing to note is that everything else is now accessed through that www.healyworld.net. So you can even access your back office through that. So if there's one website that you can stick in your cap and remember, the healyworld.net is going to take you everywhere you need to go. When you go to that link, it will probably pop up with your country or your region. So you would just select that, and then that will take you to the login screen where you'll use your login credentials, either your username or email and your password. At that point, you can operate everything from that hub. This is important to note that if you need to submit a customer service ticket, it is now done through the shop. There's a tab called the Support Center, and that's where you will have all contact with Healy Corporate to put in tickets and everything of that nature. You can look at your subscriptions there. You can pull up past orders. So that is basically your central point to where you can purchase things for yourself if you haven't got your coil yet, or if you want to add a subscription yourself. You do everything from that. The alternative link, I have to correct that because there's a double HTTPS, but you can also go directly to us.healy.shop. For device support help, I just wanted to throw this in there too, because there are so many great resources out there. And I found that for myself personally, the more involved I am of just logging into calls on a weekly basis, the more I just feel like I'm absorbing the information. And Stephen Keller actually notes that as a point. We know that in our quantum information field, the more we submerge ourselves in a good environment, the more we just kind of elevate to that. So if you are doing the Tech Tip Tuesdays or What's Up Wednesdays, or we have a Healing Centered Consciousness team call on Thursday nights, it just helps you kind of absorb more of the Healy lifestyle, the frequency, the vibration. So those have been very helpful to me. Of course, the USA Telegram group is where you're going to get most updates, in addition to our Mighty Networks group. And then mydevicehelp.com. If you haven't seen that, that's like a broken record. Any type of questions or technical support you need is all time stamped and well documented there. And then the My Academy in your back office. So those were some useful links that I wanted to make sure that y'all had too. Again, like I said, I will share the presentation. You guys will have all this. And then one last note, if you haven't seen the crucial Healy sequence, this is super important too. So a lot of times when people are having trouble, this is what you need to do a reset, okay? So I'll give you guys a second if you want to screenshot that, but again, this will all be updated in our links. If you do have any quick questions, feel free to unmute yourself. I know that was a really rapid review of the additions, but hopefully that makes sense. Again, what I recommend is just to print these out, make yourself a little binder, put it in a sleeve or laminate and just have these out. And as you're talking to people, you just, what's your health and wellness goals? Where are you at right now? Would you like to just focus on like, skin support and anti-aging and that fountain of youth type of thing? Or are you having trouble sleeping? Hone in on what their needs are. And then you can use the program guide to kind of specify where they would receive the most benefit of getting into Healy. Okay, so I'm going to stop my screen share now and turn it over to the beautiful Jenn Boggs, who is going to talk to us about the new comp plan.
Cool. Can y'all hear me? You can? Okay, because I'm confusing myself because I'm on the phone with the audio and I am on this. So let me unpin you so that they can hopefully see me and my screen. Can y'all see that?
We see you now, but not your screen yet.
Okay, but you can see me.
Yes.
Okay. Although this is saying it's pinning the speaker. Okay, here we go. I'm also trying to make sure it records the right view. Okay, so thank you, Beth. That was amazing. Really awesome. And before we talk about comp plan, I just wanted to mention one more thing about the new pricing. I think it's really helpful to spend a few minutes looking up, for example, like the Biomat and the Beamer. I like to have a frame of reference when I'm talking to people. I think, we've all been really spoiled by the ridiculous price of the Healy. And this is like a total paradigm shift. This is like a return to what it really should cost. And I think that can be a hard shift to make. But when I pull up the Biomat and the Beamer, both of which, if you haven't heard of them, are mats. I mean, they're huge. You have to lay on them and they deliver frequencies, but there's a million differences between that and the Healy. The biggest one, of course, being portability, and the Healy actually scans you and tells you what to run. But Biomat starts at $1,650. That's the base Biomat price. And that's about that's more than the Healy Aura. And then to get one you can actually sleep on, like a single, is $2,700. The queen size is $3,500. The king size is $4,200, right? So, and then you look at the Beamer, which people who have Beamers, turn their nose up at the Biomat because of what the Beamer can do. A Beamer starts at $49.90. Like, that's the base price of a Beamer. The professional, I don't even remember. I think it adds on $750. So that is like, $4,990, and that is a mat that doesn't do close to this. So I just think it's worth spending a little time to just, you can Google that in literally 1 minute. What's the price of a Beamer? And just re-wrap your mind around, like, this is a crazy good deal still. We just, we just were super lucky because it was just launched in the US. But the prices now are still low for this industry. And when you believe that and you have seen that yourself, you'll be able to speak and then that won't come up as an issue, right, with people. And they're like, that's too expensive. If you actually are like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Have you even looked at this industry? Then your enthusiasm and your confidence is what's going to help people realize, oh no, this is actually extremely reasonable. They just want, the conscious developers really want this in everyone's hands. And you're just going to be able to wipe that concern right off the table. So, yeah, so there's my last bit on the additions. Because that was helpful for me to remind myself, because it is, it is an adjustment. So we're going to jump into comp plan. Before we jump into comp plan, I wanted to make a note for everybody about the MailChimp pages, because this is really important. Our MailChimp pages, right? Everybody's referral link has completely changed. So it doesn't work anymore. The old link, partner.healyworld.net/ your username, like that's not the same anymore. So all of our MailChimp pages, when you click on buy a Healy, like now, does not work. And that's not, it's just, they changed the whole referral link. So we're going to have to go and change all of that. Well, at this point, there's so many, and that doesn't make sense unless people are actually using them and requesting them. So we're going to put a post in Mighty Networks that says, if you want yours revised, comment here. And that's going to be the only place we're going to manage it, because otherwise it's just going to be too many to keep up with. So if your people want one, you're going to have to post it in Mighty Networks. I would encourage you to tell them to get in so that they can get access to the info and request it, or you can put it in there for them. But please don't say, please make like 10 of these unless you know that people are actually using them, because it takes time to go in there and adjust it. And we're obviously going to have to adjust as well, like the instructions and things like that. So that's in process, and Beth, thankfully, is helping me with that. So grateful. So that will be done here soon. So anyway, just wanted y'all to be super aware of that. And I'm sure you've probably seen, like, now there's no longer this two-step process. So we're gonna have to change that graphic too. You don't become a member and then order like you used to. Now you just go straight to the shop and you use that link, and it pops up only one time and says, did you mean you were referred by Jenn Boggs, or the number or whatever? Now there's these long numbers. And you say yes, and then you just go through the ordering process, and then you become a member or a customer. So that's very different. And so, as you know, Beth is kind of trying to rework our instructions. So, and then we'll probably do like a short video that's like, okay, this is how you do it. It should be a lot easier now. But there's a few things on the website I don't love, like it doesn't really show you easily who you're referred by. Hopefully they're, adding this functionality on soon, but that is to come. So in the meantime, just know you can log into your back office and you can get your link from there. It's, it's in the top left, you click my tools and you click my link, and then you can get your link, and that's what you need to send people if they want to get one for now. So make sure you understand that, or post a question in Mighty Networks or Telegram. Okay. Any questions on that before we jump in? And I know that this is a lot for one night to talk about both new subscriptions and new comp plan, but we're recording it. So if you zone out and you've reached your max, you can always listen in another time. But I'm going to keep this high level for comp plan, because we just need to understand how this is relevant to us for now. So I'm not seeing any other questions right now before we start. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen as well. I'm going to share my entire desktop. Can you guys see that? I know there's a lot on right now. Then I'll choose the right one that we want to look at. Not that. This one. Okay. So before we jump into this, I want to kind of give you, I should have done that before I started screen sharing. High level overview, I think is where we're going to keep this. We're going to only dive in as much as really necessary to cover the basics. But the biggest thing to get is what they have done with legs. And If you understand that, you're going to be well on your way to understanding the main difference. Whereas before, I should actually just show you this. Whereas before, do you remember how you had, like, if this is you right here in this middle, and you had your left side and you had your right side? That was it. You have your left leg, you have your right leg. That was the only thing we talked about with legs. Well, now I personally do not love this, but you know, they didn't ask me, right? The fact that legs mean two different things. So we now have a dual leg, right? Dual team genealogy, they call it, which just means the same, left leg, right leg. And we have your enrollment genealogy leg. So what that means is this: when they start talking about all this comp plan stuff and they start talking about legs, they're not actually talking about left leg and right leg anymore. They're talking about everyone you enroll is a leg, period. And so everyone, for example, if I enrolled Beth Mincher, Beth Mincher is one leg for me. And everybody underneath Beth Mincher that she has personally enrolled is part of that leg. Okay, so then if I enrolled Lisa Smith, she's another leg. And everybody that Lisa Smith has personally enrolled is part of that leg. So the big shift that has been made in this comp plan is that much more of going up the ranks is now about your personal enrollments. They have done this to kind of remove the sort of luck factor of if you ended up with on a leg that had a ton of people, and some people don't end up on a leg with a ton of people, right? And you know, all the stuff that creates. Well, this kind of eliminates that because it really is based on your personal enrollment tree, a lot heavier now. And they've changed the bonuses to really reflect you and your team. So it's pretty cool because now there's so many more ways to get bonuses, and that's what we're going to talk about. It's not just that first initial order of someone. So this also gives more credence to what Beth was talking about. Before, that first order that people placed, that's where you really earned the bulk of your money, right? You earn this direct bonus. That was like 40%. If you were in the US and you sold a residence, you know, you earned 40%. And if you were in Europe or Australia, you earned 40% based on what you currently had. You had two different comp plans, utterly confusing. Now we have one. Now it's the same. And now it's not just that first order. You get to earn these direct bonuses on every order. So if they get a gold and then a week later they upgrade, and then a week later they upgrade, you get to earn the same percentage on every upgrade. So it just makes a lot more sense. It makes a lot more sense. There's no hurry for people to get immediately the resonance. Like, you're not going to miss out on commission or anything like that if they slowly upgrade. Before, the only thing that happened is that kind of went into your dual tree and you earned 15%. Now you earn, boom, direct bonus on everything people buy. And that's how it should be, because you're taking the time and the effort and the energy to explain and coach people and help them understand the value of upgrading. You should earn a direct bonus every time that happens. That's only fair. So it's really cool now that that's not cool. My headset is going to die. So I'm going to unplug one. Give me a second and talk out of one. And then by the time the other one charges, there we go. Okay. Can you still hear me? Okay. So I really like that about it. And so much of what we're going to talk about, and that, I mean, if you get this, you're like 50% there on the comp plan, okay? Because we're going to talk about so before it was called personal enrollment tree, now it's just your enrollment genealogy, same thing. And that's what everything is based on. So whether or not people are balanced on your left or right doesn't really matter anymore, okay? There's still a dual bonus part of it, where you still are going to earn that percentage on left and right, but it's a much smaller component of the comp plan. So what that means for you guys going forward is that the cool thing is, before, you had to have, for all the ranks, you had to have someone on your left and on your right that you had enrolled going up the ranks with you in order for you to go up the ranks. That's not the case anymore. Not the case. You don't even have to have one person on each leg anymore. That's gone too. So your people can just be wherever you need them to be for your volume. So if you have, so most of this is based on you having volume within 2 legs still, your 2 legs. But if both of those legs are on your inside, that's fine. If one's on your left and one's on your right, that's fine. So you just really can balance them out based on the volume in your left and your right. So does that kind of make sense from an overview perspective? I just wanted to kind of put that in context. We'll dive into each of it, but I think it's helpful to kind of big picture see what's shifted. Let me just check off and make sure. Yeah. Okay. So there is a really long PowerPoint presentation that I am going to use as my base, but I am not going to go slide by slide because we'll be here for 2 hours. I think after tonight, you'll be able to go through the slides and it'll make more sense. There's also the comp plan document. Now, I have put everything in one location. So if you guys go to, Yep, here it is. I put it in the chat, tinyurl.com/Healy-docs. That's always, oops, whoa, what just happened? Okay, that's always been there. It takes you to this drive that just has all kinds of Healy documents and PDFs that I had downloaded from the back office. That's still there. That's referenced, I think, even in the user guide. But now there's this directory here called 2021-07 new subscriptions. If you go there, that has everything that we're talking about tonight, okay? And I've put in there the comp plan, this new comp plan, and the new, this PowerPoint right here that we're gonna go through. The comp plan, I am not gonna go through that tonight, that PDF. I actually think it is more confusing than the PowerPoint. It is a great place to go refer to when you have questions, but as far as teaching from it, I'm not going to teach from it tonight, but I want you to know it's there because, again, you can't possibly memorize all this. You just need to know where to go to get answers. And so both of those documents are in there. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you some of the things that are in that directory. This right here is one of the main slides that you're going to see everywhere. And it actually, when you start to understand it, it's a really good summary of everything. And this is like your one stop at a glance. The biggest differences that are happening, right, is this top line, personal subscription volume, PSV. So we've all known that the day was coming, right, where we were going to be like every other, social sharing company where you actually have to purchase product in order to make money. I mean, this is pretty standard. We've just been really lucky to not have to have done that yet, this whole active concept. But they are going to bring that back, obviously, and they're going to transition it. So this career path slide is what it's going to be. But we are transitioning, and so it's not going to start right away. So I'm going to bring up the transition plan one so that you can see that for July and August, you see how all the zeros are up at the top line? That's because for July and August, you do not have to have any subscriptions in order to earn compensation. Then comes September and October. That's when it goes up, and you do have to have 50 PV in order to earn compensation. Then in November, December, it goes up, and then come January, that's when it's going to be in full effect, like the full compensation plan is. So what's important to know from this personal subscription volume is that that includes your personal subscriptions and all of your customers. So this is a really cool point. You don't have to have any subscriptions of your own if you have customers that have subscriptions. That counts for you to be, quote, active. It's not called active anymore, but that counts for you to, I don't think, actually they might still be calling it that. I'm not 100% sure. But that counts for you to meet the personal subscription volumes. That is super cool. So much of this new model, that's another key point, is it's moving towards customers, right? And not just members. So if you have customers that are on these subscriptions, and also when they first get their gold, or not the gold, any other one, their holistic health, the aura, you know how it comes with subscriptions for those first 3 months? That counts. So they give a value to those 3 months, and that counts towards this personal subscription volume. So it's very possible that for those of us, obviously, who don't have to get subscriptions because we have the residents, we're grandfathered in, you might never need a subscription ever, and still qualify to earn commission as long as you have customers that are on these subscriptions. So that's really cool. It's only 50 PV in order to earn these first 4 are really cool now, because now you can earn a lot more right out of the gate. So I'm going to show you as well what this next thing, this 3-month rolling device points, what that means. As you go up the path, team manager team manager is like where you start opening up the bigger things of the comp plan. That's where you start being able to earn dual bonus. And you can see all that requires is 2,500 in downline volume. So that's basically like selling 1 resonance and 1 gold, or selling 2 auras, right? So, and that's anyone on your team. So if you have that, boom, you qualify for dual bonus. This 3-month rolling device means you also have to have that, which means in the last 3 months, if it says 1, you need 1 device point. That means that you had sold personally 1 device. That can be a gold, that can be a holistic health, that can be an aura, anything, right? That can be an upgrade even. So you just have to have 1. And then as you go up the ranks, it becomes 2, and then you can see it maxes out at 3. So that means over the previous 3 months. So that's this month and the previous 2. It's a rolling time period. So if you have that, you're qualified. You can see the downline volume. So these are like all the qualifications involved to become a team manager. You have to have 100 subscription, personal subscription. You have to have sold 1 device or upgrade within the last 3 months. 2,500 in downline volume, 2 enrollment legs. These are the legs I was talking about, this new concept of a leg. That means you've enrolled 2 people, and that each of those legs has a 500 volume. That could come from they just bought somebody. So it's kind of, bought some device. So it's kind of, it's not that hard to become a team manager, because when you think about it, if you literally sold 2 auras, you would be a team manager. If you sold 2 auras, or on your team there was sold 2 auras, right? Because then you're going to have 2 legs, because each person who bought 1 is a leg, and your leg, and they're going to each have more than 500. So is this making sense to people? One finer point on that, right? Customers are not legs. So this is the difference between a customer and a member, right? Customers, we're going to show you the new bonuses you get. You're definitely incentivized to have customers, because you get extra bonuses and extra things like that, and they count as your personal subscription. But members, obviously, are what you need to have these legs. Your members are what have legs, or what are legs, and that's how you go up the ranks. And so there's benefit now on both, which is very cool. There's, depending on how you grow your business, you can still make very good money based on however you like to do things. So I think that hopefully that helps you make sense of this picture so that you can come back and just look and see, oh, okay, yeah, if I was a team manager, this is what I would need to have. And this last one, the outside volume, that means anything outside of those 2 legs. So if you had enrolled 18 people, right, personally, then your 2 highest legs are what they count. And then all 16 other people, as long as there's 1,050 of outside of volume in any of those 16, you got it. So I know this chart looks a little daunting, but when you break it down, it's actually not that bad. And it's actually kind of, you know, straightforward to come back to. And then I'm going to show you each of the types of bonuses, and then that's it. Because seriously, it's really not that hard, the new model, once you kind of break it down and get it. So this is not going to be a super long training. Like, I'm just going to show you each of the bonuses and then tell you a little bit about placing, and that's it. So the bonuses will help you understand how you get paid now. Try not to scoot ahead because you'll totally confuse yourself. Try just to focus on the one we're talking about. The first one, right, and they break them down into these 3 core bonuses. There's 4 team and there's 4 leader. Whatever, you can call them what you want. But I took this from that that PowerPoint, and I did my own little slide that was like my cheat sheet. So that's what this is. You won't find this in their PDF, but you will find it in that subfolder I was talking about. To me, this is like, I can now look at this and be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's the cheat sheet. So this device direct bonus, this is like our old direct bonus, right? But the cool thing is this includes upgrades, customers, and your level 1. So everything they buy, it doesn't matter if, you know, a year from now, if Beth, for example, were to purchase the coil, as her enroller, I'm going to earn this 25% commission on her coil. Old comp plan, that's not the case. Old comp plan, I would have only earned 15% dual bonus if she was in my weaker leg. So I could have earned nothing from that. So right now, I really do like some of these features. So 25% weekly, and then at the end of the month, so they're still going to pay this out weekly. Every week you'll get it deposited. At the end of the month, they're going to add up whatever your device personal volume is, and that's DPV, and I have a little definition here. Device personal volume, that does not include your own volume, but that I need to specify that. But that is your customers and your level 1s. So I'll make a note to even further clarify that. But if you had between 1,500 and 3,000, so that's selling 1 aura, you know, then you're going to get another 5%. So you're going to earn 30%, basically. If you had more than 3,000, so that means if you had sold a professional or you had sold like a resonance and a holistic health, then you're going to get an extra 10%. So of those. So you basically can go up to 35%, right, that you're going to be earning on your customers and your level 1s purchases and upgrades. So that's very generous. I think that's way better than before. And that's the device direct bonus. So it looks more complicated because of all the subcategories, but it's actually not that complicated. The second bonus is something extra if you have customers versus members. So this is something you only get paid on customers. And it's another 5 to 15%. And it's based on how much that, whether it's 5 or 15, is based on the amount of customer subscriptions that you have. So the more customers on subscriptions you have, the higher percentage you're going to make. When this says you earn 5 to 15% based on that, of the customer's BV, this can get confusing. BV is bonus volume. Oh, I don't actually have that. That's what it stands for. I'll put that cheat comment in there. That basically means 60% of their PV. So this has always been the case. Think about this. If someone buys something and you're earning 40% as your commission, they're not going to also pay you all the other bonuses on that 40%. They're going to take that out and be like, you've gotten paid enough on that. We're going to now pay all the other bonuses on 60% of it. So that's where this BV concept comes from, bonus volume. It's bonus. It's bonus volume. It's like what the bonuses are paid on, okay? So you can see if that, you're going to earn, even with a very small amount of subscriptions, you're going to earn 5%, 8%, 10% on top of what you've already earned for device direct bonuses. So big picture, that's details. Big picture, customers, customer subscriptions, you earn lots of bonuses on. They're trying to encourage, obviously, customers, and not you having to think everybody who gets a Healy has to want to refer to others, right? Not everyone is going to want to be a member. They're going to give you extra incentive for all these customers. This power play bonus number 3, I'm not going to go into a ton of detail, but power play is pretty cool. And power play means you have 3 customers. So they're going to give you a subscription credit. So a credit towards any subscriptions you want, right, of $50 if you have enrolled 3 customers that month and you have at least 150 in subscriptions. You're going to get an extra $50 towards your subscription. The power play is like a power of 3 thing. So they're going to give you $200 a month as a subscription credit, 200 cash, 200 euros cash. If you have 3 members who also each have 3 customers. So basically, if you duplicate yourself, they reward you. So if you get your 3 customers and you enroll 3 members who each get their 3 customers, they're going to pay you an extra $200 that month, 200 euros. So you can do the conversion. For the US, that's like $218. I'm sorry, I don't know the other country. I don't know Australia's conversion for that off the top of my head. So, but I bet you guys do because you're on top of it. And then 700 euros is if it's 3 times 3 times 3. So you have 3 customers, you've enrolled 3 members, and they have 3 customers each. And those members have enrolled 3 members who have 3 customers each. So it gets a little hard to wrap your head around, but basically the whole bigger picture, again, zoom out, is duplicate yourself. You want to help people enroll 3 people. You want to help people enroll customers. You want to help them share. And, one of the negatives to me, let me pick up this piece of paper, about discussing the comp plan is that, I love details and I loved working out on comp plan, but I also like to step back and remember the bigger picture purpose of this, right? I don't care about the comp plan. I want to, in the sense of, I want to maximize the comp plan, but I'm not driving for the comp plan. I'm driving because I think Healy's freaking amazing. And I'm about to post a video in Telegram of my son using it tonight because he had a fever and he's 5 and he was like, what do I have the greatest resonance? What do I have the greatest resonance? It was so cute. And it came up immune system, number 1. You can't make this stuff up. I'm so grateful for it. So I don't want that to ever be lost. They are doing a great job of helping people be financially rewarded for sharing Healy because the world needs Healy. We need energy, and energy medicine is where everything is moving. We know this. Oh my God, how many experts are out there now talking about energy medicine? So, I don't want that to be lost, but I do think it's amazing that they are giving away now for all of these amazing conscious light workers and energy workers and healers and health coaches who are sharing this to actually make money, because we all should also be abundant in this new world. So this new conscious world. So that being said, I just think it's awesome that they're finally matching up this comp plan to reward people who are sharing Healy in a very authentic way with the world. So, okay, we'll go back to dorking out now on details. So those are the core bonuses. And that's on your direct stuff. Okay. And now we're going to look at some team bonuses. Fast start bonus. So you all know what fast start was before. Fast start is very different. Actually, I'm going to table that. I'm going to come back to fast start at the end because it's kind of like its own little thing. and it is very different. So I'm going to come back to fast start at the end. Mentoring and coaching bonus. So this is also really cool because you get this right out of the gate. You don't need to be team manager. You don't need to have dual volume. You don't need to have any of that to earn all the stuff we've talked about, which is great because no more of this headache left and right, left and right. All of this stuff so far doesn't even depend on that. Mentoring and coaching bonus. You earn 5% as a builder, which is right out of the gate, up to 10% as that team manager, which is the one I had showed you that where you start opening up dual bonus. So you're going to earn another 10%, 5 to 10% on all your level ones. This is on sales, upgrades, subscriptions of level 1, level 2, and their customers. This is huge. This means everyone you enroll and then everyone they enroll and their customers. Like this could get very big, right? You're going to earn another 5%, up to 10%. On all of them, okay? And if this is on the level 1, and then you can see the numbers for your level 2. So it's a different number for your level 1 and your level 2. But the point being, you earn it on both of that and their customers. So this is them, again, saying, if you're a mentor and a coach, and you help the people that you've shown Healy to, show how easy it is to have them share Healy, you will get another mentoring and coaching bonus. And that, let's step out big picture. This is why we want to be replicatable. This is why we want to put people in Mighty Networks and Telegram. This is why you don't want to spend 3 hours hand-holding somebody through getting their Healy. Because as much as you might like that, in the back of their head, they're going to be thinking, oh goodness, even if this thing is the best thing in the world, I am not telling a soul about it because I am not going to go spend 3 hours explaining it to them. Don't plant that for people. Help educate them, get them into the Mighty Networks and the Telegram, let them read the usage guide, be there as a pointer. Of course, hold their hand when they need it, point them, but because that's going to enable them to share Healy with other people and not feel like, oh my God, I don't have time. You do have time. Share them, put them in the groups. We'll all love on them and take care of them. And you're going to get this mentoring and coaching bonus. So I love this. This is great that they're rewarding people. Next one. Manager advancement bonuses. First time you hit each of these ranks, team manager, we just showed how easy that one is to make. You earn another 100 euros first time you get it. First time you get senior team manager, and that you can keep referring back to this one. Again, this one's not that hard either. Senior team manager, just 4,000 volume, 2 legs of 1,000. And the first time you make it, you're going to get 200 euros, 500 for executive team manager. And then there's also even a matching bonus. So if you have someone who reaches that level, they're going to pay you this matching bonus. If you have someone who becomes a team manager, you earn 50 euros. You have someone who would become senior team manager, you earn 100. Someone who earns executive team manager, you earn 250. So you can see you could be getting these, for anybody you enroll. So that can definitely add up. 7, dual bonus. This is what you all know previously as your dual bonus. Same thing. Now it goes from 8% to 15%. They reduced that. It used to be 15 right out of the gate. They've reduced that because they've added on all these other ones, which is way better because it's way better to be getting all this other stuff earlier on than it is to have to be focused on this left-right thing. But you will also get this dual bonus once you get to be team manager. And included, without going into too much detail, once you have 200 in personal bonus volume, which means if you have more than 200 from your personal customers and your personal subscriptions, anything over 200 automatically goes into your weaker leg. This is huge because what this means is you're not getting penalized for enrolling customers. If you put customers anything above 200, which is most of their volume, it's going to go automatically into your weaker leg. So you're automatically going to get the dual bonus on them. And that was the case before as well, and they kept that. So that's very cool. So there's no, there's no negative to enrolling a customer. And then if they want to share, they can easily upgrade to be a member in the back office, and they can get their link and they can share as well. So it almost, I'm still wrapping my head around strategy, but it almost seems like unless someone is out of the gate, like, I want to share, enroll them as a customer, really. That's it. This is a shift, enroll them as a customer and get the customer subscription bonuses. And then let them know, hey, as you love your Healy, you can get a referral fee. If you have someone ready to do it, you can have them, send them my link, please. Or I'll be happy for you to earn the referral fee. Just let me know and we'll convert you over and we'll get you that. You always want to plant that seed, and hopefully you're all sending out the introductory email to people anyway when they enroll that says this in there. And we'll tweak that as well to reflect this new part. Beth, let's make a note of that as well, to tweak that intro email. It's in Mighty Networks for everybody to use, but we'll tweak it a little bit. But yeah, I kind of think strategy-wise, it makes sense to enroll people as customers out of the gate, and just let them know if they're ready to share with a friend, then we'll just convert them to a member. And so what else for dual bonus? They have maxed out dual bonus according to your rank. I'm not going to get into all those details tonight. That'll give you a headache if you don't already have one. COV means carryover volume. They are going to do carryover volume if you're a team manager, but otherwise each month it's going to reset to 0. Again, this is not as big of a deal in this new model because of the new structure of the bonuses, but it's just good to know. And even so, the downline bonus volume will expire in 12 months, even at the highest rank. But again, this is going to transition in. So if you're wondering about when, if you go back to the one called transition and you scroll to the end, you can see that all the way through this year, they're still going to have carryover volume. They're not even going to introduce that flushing, they're calling it, until next year. So again, I love to be a pointer. I just am showing you this so that if you forget, you can go back to this PowerPoint. All of these slides that I took out are from the big PowerPoint that's in that directory, but I kind of took out the most powerful ones, I thought, and that's what these are. Okay. And then the leader bonuses, we're not going to dive into detail on, because you need to know that they're out there, because there is a very sustainable business model that can pay significant income if that's where you want to go with this. But these start executive director. So I'm going to show you on here so you have a frame of reference. That you see once you get to green, those are like leaders. So here's executive director, this column, EDIR, that's 50,000 in downline volume. Now, again, that's not like it's that much. That's literally only 25 residences split between your entire downline. So it's very achievable to get here. And once you do, you get a 3,000 euro the first time. As you get to the next one, executive vice president, you get a 20,000 euro bonus, and you get 4,000 a month euro for the first 5 months. And then boom, as you get to executive president, which you can see is the new highest rank up here, all the way on the right, which would be nice, 3.5 million in downline volume. As you get there, you get a 250,000 euro bonus. That's the leader advancement bonus. Then there's the leader pool. That also starts at executive director. Not that hard to achieve. I mean, it's really not that hard to imagine 25 residences being sold amongst your entire downline. That you start to get 3 shares. And what they do basically is they take 1% of the entire company's bonus volume and they pay it out. And you get shares towards it based on your rank. So each rank gets more and more shares, and you start getting them at executive director. You get 3 shares. And so it's kind of like they take the profit for the month and it's sharing, and they share it out. So that was going to vary based on the month. And then the 2 check matches, those start at director, which again, director is even sooner. So director is right here. That's only 13,000 in downline volume. So that's like 6 residences over your entire downline. Very achievable. That you get 10 to 15%. This is like the old matching bonus. You get 10 to 15% of the dual and mentoring coaching bonus of your team, executive team managers. So what that means is, once you get there, anybody who is at this level, this third blue level, anybody you have in your downline that's there, you get a match from 10 to 15% of everything they made on their dual bonus and everything that they made on the mentoring coaching bonus, which is this one right here. You get a match on that. So again, this is big picture. You're very incentivized to have customers and also to support your members, who are enrolling. So this, yeah, you want to support your members. And so much of this is remembering this is not direct sales. Our focus is not just on selling Healys, it's on empowering others to share Healy. That's what separates direct sales from more of a multi-level, where you're getting compensated for developing leaders. And then super leadership is, again, just one more matching, where you get another 3 to 5% match once you reach this level of any executive directors that you have in your downline. So those are, I mean, you just looked at all 11 types of bonuses. You know, big picture, I think it's, you know, in closing, right, like, help others share. Really look at what you're doing to empower that, because the more individual coaching and hand-holding you're doing in terms of every little question, the more you're disempowering your leaders. The more you're teaching your leaders, you have to spend 20 hours a day hand-holding. Be the pointers, help empower people, teach them where to go for answers, right? Teach them how to share. This is actually the most loving thing you can do. You don't want people thinking you are the expert and they have to come to you for every answer. And in so doing that, you're going to grow your legs, right? And that's how you're going to go up the ranks. Because remember, now everything is based on your enrollment legs. So you could go out and enroll 20 people this month yourself. And yes, you are going to make great bonuses initially from this device direct bonus, from the customer subscription bonus, from the mentoring and coaching bonus, yes. But you're not going to unlock the other half of the compensation plan, which is unlocked, as you can see here, when you get to enrollment legs, which means someone on your team is going out and sharing. So find those people. It doesn't matter. They call it tap rooting. It doesn't matter where those people are in your downline. If, you know, someone enrolled someone who enrolled someone who enrolled someone, and they're 5 levels down, if they are like, I want to do this thing, I love Healy, I got to get out of my job, or I just need some extra income and I want to share Healy and get paid for it, help them, because that would become a leg for you because of that concept of compression. If people above them are not ordering and aren't technically legs because they don't have their own top level PSV thing met, they're not active, right? Then that person, even 5 levels deep, is going to become your leg. So you want to help them grow. So that's another big aha, right? Is like you want to help your legs, no matter how deep they are. You want to help them share. And that's really cool, because that means no one's going to get lost. That means if someone 5 levels away wants help, it's in your best interest to help them. So that's really cool. I love that. That just shows, again, like this new plan shows for Healy how focused they are on teamwork, sharing, like working together, you know, changing the world together. So those are my 2 big points for closing. So I think really at this point, let's tell you about placing people, just so you understand the new rule for placement. And then I will, I guess I can tell you fast start and then we'll be done. Placement, they are saying now for placement, this is when it went out in an email on July 10th, that a new member has to be placed within 7 days of enrollment. And if they're not, the system will place them for you. Clearly, I haven't seen this yet because everything's so new. Who the heck knows? Can't verify it ourselves, but they're saying it's happening. So be aware, if you do not place someone within 7 days, the system will place them. How? In the leg with the fewer points. Whichever one that is with fewer points, that's where they'll go. And if they're equal, they're going to place them in your inside leg, not your team leg, your inside leg. And then once they're placed, no changes. That still remains the same. So the other thing is that the comp plan says that if you enroll a second member before you place your first member, it says they're going to automatically place your first member. I don't know if this is true, but I hope that you guys can pay attention to this for me and tell me, because I would love to know. I would love to see this for myself. So if you enroll someone and like, let's just see, don't place them until you enroll the second, unless you really like want them on a particular leg and you're worried you're getting close to your 7 days. But if you have like 2 members enrolling right away, like let's look and see, don't place them and enroll your second one. And then let's see if it did automatically place your first one. Because that does impact stuff, right? But it's not as much as the old plan because of just the way legs work. But anyway, wanted you guys to be aware of those 2 big points for placement. And then fast start, I am going to actually show you this in the comp plan so that you can pull it up yourself if you need to refer back to it. If you open the comp plan and you go to just do a find for fast start, it'll pull up this stuff every time it's mentioned. And there we go. I'm going to scroll down to the one that actually has like, this is what it looks like. I know this is too small to read, but I just wanted you to be aware of where this information was so you can find it again. So I'm not going to read it from here, but I'm going to go back to my summary. So fast start, here's the difference, right? There's 3 types. There's a cash bonus, then there's what they call advancement bonus, which is your free resident, and then there's your sponsor bonus. So the cash bonus, whereas before you would get, the amounts per device you sold, it's not that way anymore. I just didn't overwrite. That's okay. You only get the cash bonus if you've sold 3 sales total, one of which has to be to a customer. So if you go back to this, you can see this is called the cash bonus, and it says during your first 30 days, when you sell 3 qualified devices to customers and members, and you have at least 1,250 DPV, which you would have if you sold 3, then you will earn a bonus for each qualified device you sell based on the type. So, and it says in here further on what that bonus is. Oh, here it is, 25 for holistic, 50 for the aura, 100 for the resonance. But you only get that if you've sold all 3, okay? And one of them has to be to a customer. I realize that this does not say that specifically, but I have spent quite a bit of time trying to get that answer and finally got it. So this has come from Peter, which has come from Mike or Mark Bums and I, or however you say his name. That yes, at least one of those 3 has to be to a customer, and then you will earn that. The second one is one we all want to hear about, the free resonance. How do you get a free resonance? And that is cool because that is now only 2 sales. So if you have 2 sales, and you have 2 full months to do this in, so you can see time requirement first 2 full months. So that means the month you're in that you registered in, plus the next 2 full months. So if you got your Healy on the 1st, you actually have like 3 months, right? If you got your Healy on the 31st, you still have 2 full months plus a day. So as long as you sell 2 qualified devices, which a qualified device is anything except for the gold. So as long as you sold 2 qualified devices, and in that same month you were paid as a team manager or above, which you can always go back here and reference what that was. But again, we saw that's not, you pretty much be that if you had sold them and if they were members, then you're going to get a free resonance. So very cool. Only 2 sales now, not 3. but they have to happen, even though you have 2 months to do it, both sales have to happen in the same month. Okay, so you can't do one this month and one next month. Both have to happen in the same, and you have to be paid as team manager or above. And then the third type, this matching bonus, is if you help your new enrollees, if they get one of these bonuses, then you also get a bonus. So you get a €100 bonus if you help them get both of those. So again, just more incentive for you to help others share Healy. So that is the summary. Like I said, if you want to like kind of hear this again, but see it again, open up this one called, here it is, Comp Healy World Tier 2 Leader Presentation PowerPoint. Open up this PowerPoint and you can go through, and it covers everything we covered. Just it takes it, 71 PowerPoint pages to do it. So it really breaks it down, but it explains more in detail everything we covered. I just realized that if I did go through it, like you can see, it's going to break down everything, and it's going to do personal subscription volume and tell you about it and define it and show it to you. So it's a great reset. But they also go through these on the Tech Tip Tuesday, some of the recorded ones. You can go back and watch those. Beth Mincher has posted those all in and her notes, which if you guys are not reading those, oh my God, just take 5 minutes and read her notes. They are amazing. You learn so much. If you can't jump on the call, read the notes. Like they're so helpful from that. And she does Tech Tip Tuesday and the Wednesday call. So you can also go listen to those replays if you want them to walk you through the career, through the comp plan. But, they're a little kind of all over the place. So at some point, I will do a really in-depth compensation plan video, kind of like my old ones. But I just need to give that some time to see for myself some of these things so that I can speak with authority, like on, some of the ones that I'm like, is this really happening? And so that we can show the back office during that comp plan video, because right now you can't really see a lot of this in the back office. But as they add that functionality and you can actually see, like, where the heck is my download volume? Then I'll do a training to dive in. But at least now, hopefully, you have a strategy for moving forward and realize, like, how important it is to kind of help your team members to enroll so that you can grow those legs, and how important it is to enroll customers and know that you're still going to earn more than you would have before by no matter what they enroll. So let them get a goal if they want. I always start with the higher models. Of course, I want to encourage people to do that because that's giving them the most empowerment. But if that's not where they're at, it's totally cool to start with that goal and then just help them move up. Obviously having the resonance, I don't think there's anything like it because then you can see. Can you still hear me? Oh, okay. Because then you can see, what it's recommending. So I still think there's a lot of value in going with that Healy resonance model for the $2,000. But last point I'm going to leave you with is
Hey, Jen.
remembering as a key point when you're sharing Healy with others. This whole concept of IMF, individualized microcurrent frequency. Even on the gold, we have IMF. What that means, right, is that when the gold program is running, you know how you see the red and the blue and they're like, they're all back and forth? It's because, right, the Healy is, oh, you can't hear me.
Yeah, just unmute your computer. I think your Bluetooth went out.
There we go. Can you hear me now? Okay,
yep.
That one headset died, so I switched to the other one. So remember that even at the gold level, if someone's running one of the gold programs, the release or the balance or pure, it is still every 10 seconds looking to see within those hundreds of frequencies in the gold program, which one does that person need, right? So if you run the gold and I run the gold, or if you run the release and I run the release, we're still going to get different frequencies. And that is, I mean, where else is that on the market? Like, I haven't seen that. Please, someone show it to me. Like, I'd love to know. I always love to know what's out there. But, you know, that is incredible. So even at the gold, even if someone doesn't have the resonance and they choose that, they're still going to, within that frequency, within that program, they're still going to get individualized frequencies that's best for them. So that is just mind blowing to me. Like, I think we have to tell that to people, right? IMF, so cool. But obviously, once you get the resonance module, then you'll even know which program to start with, so that, yes, you know, you want to know which program has the 200 best frequencies for me. And then within that, you know, the IMF will choose. So any questions? And I'm going to see if there's anything through the chat while anybody speaks up if they have a question.
I do, Jen.
Was that helpful? Yeah.
So this might be a silly question, but so as we're building our team now, right? People underneath us that have already purchased a Healy, this isn't starting fresh from now. This is even people underneath us as they're selling the Healys. We're growing.
Yep.
Okay. That's what I thought, but I just want to make sure.
Yep. So you might, I mean, it'll be great when we can really see the view in the back office. So you can see that, like, you know, especially like your structure is amazing because you've helped other people enroll. And so those people are going to be like a leg and are going to have volume for you, you know? So, yeah.
Okay.
I'll just address a couple of the questions that came up. And
Perfect.
I took some notes here. So yay for all kinds of awesome information, right, you guys? I know if you're like me, the comp plan gets way overwhelming. The good thing I can tell you, but from listening and absorbing all of this and also being on all those calls, the bonus structure of how it's set up, like leading from core to team to leader, it's kind of intended so that you really can't fail. Like, if your primary goal is to get in this and help people, and like Jen said, the world needs Healy and we are here to help them get in at whatever entry point they want to. Obviously, we know that they should do the resonance, but you know, if we're helping people and we are focused on customers, which is why they transitioned, you can't help but progress in these bonuses, which then leads you into the building, which is great for people like me who are kind of sometimes like, like I don't geek out on the comp plan, but I know that it's there to support me and it's in my best interest. So that's an awesome thing. So enroll customers left and right, get those people in as customers, but then on your business building mindset part, that's where the power of 3 comes in. Look for 3, but then double it, or as they say, when you look for 3, you're actually doing 5 or 6, double that. But your business structure can start out very simple, 3 people. And that's why they did that power play before they launched all this stuff. There was a mindset precedent for that, to get you into that. Just find your 3 people, sit down, and who are the 3 people that you want to work with, that you love, that you want to be in business and have, you know, as your, whatever you want to call them, your assistant managers, or, you know, if you're opening a business and you're running the business and you have to hire 3 people to help you run, who are those 3 people in your life? And if you follow that simple structure, you can't help but succeed, keeping in mind your customer focus as well. So the bonuses flow, that's awesome. Ken Close will be doing support Saturday calls coming up, and mapping out, Karina KK was saying about, you know, specific numbers. If you like that, he's going to start some trainings about, you peg a number, like what you start from there. What number do you need monthly to earn? What do you want? And then we will structure a pathway to get there. So stay tuned for that. You can still access the old back office through December. So this is helpful if you do need to get any iPayout records. You can still go to the https://partner.healyworld.net and you can access things through December in there. So that's important. just trying to read anything else anybody said. And then Lisa mentioned about the watches. The watch is still amazing. It's not really factored into any of like the main edition purchases. We do have the watch promotion this month. So if we have 10 days left, anybody that purchases a Healy Holistic Health automatically gets a watch and the Watch Connect app. So that's what your customer or member receives. And then if you as the enroller have sold 3 Healy Holistic Health or above, then you also get a watch as your incentive. So that's a great thing.
Wait, can you say that one more time? Can you say everyone who buys say that one more time?
So this month, any member or customer that purchases a Healy Holistic Health edition or above will also receive a free Healy watch and the actual connector app as well. And then you as their enroller, if you do 3 of those or more, you receive that as well. Now the promotion runs through July 31st right now. Lisa said the August 31st. There's some confusion with the dates. The Healy watch promotion currently runs through July 31st. There's also a Healy Watch Challenge that's kind of separate. That's just like a usage group where people are tracking their results. The promotion that runs through August 31st is the Heal Advisor Search app purchase. So if you did not currently have that as a subscription on your grandfathered Healy, you have the option to purchase for a one-time fee until August 31st the Heal Advisor Search, which is approximately $41 US. There is a little bit of a lag time of that getting installed and kind of activating for some people, but just purchase it now. You have a one-time charge and you have that for life. Now that's what I was mentioning on the new editions. Everybody that purchases from here on out with a new edition, that's included. So they get that search module, which is amazing because that could be a start. Like if they don't start at the residence and they don't have that ability to scan, they still have the search advisor module. So if they search for a condition and they're constantly seeing, wow, what is this, fitness program that keeps coming up for me? Maybe I should subscribe to that. So that is awesome.
Hey, Beth, can I ask you a quick question? So when you say that everyone gets that, even that, I'm just making sure everyone understands it. You don't have to pay a subscription. So even if someone gets the Holistic Health and the Aura and the Resonance and they don't continue with the subscriptions after 3 months, everyone still gets the Heal Advisor Search. And that's just important for people to know, right? So if they don't have the Resonance, they can go in and type in their condition and see what to run. And like she said, then that same thing keeps coming up. They may end up wanting to add that subscription on or upgrade, etc. So I think that's like, and that's a really good reason too for all of us to want to get it for yourself so that you see what they see, right? Like if you don't have it, you're going to know what they're going to be seeing when they look up a certain condition.
Yep. And it's huge. If you have multiple Healy devices as well, you don't need to purchase multiple search. You just purchase it one time because it's an app you download. You can put that app on all kinds of devices and you'll just log in with your main credential and you can access that tool from any device that you have that app downloaded on. So it's really, really awesome. And yeah, and thank you guys for being, Stephanie's hopping off. She's got a Zoom call. Hopefully this helped tonight. I know it did for me tremendously. It's full steam ahead and good stuff in the future. I think it's just amazing to be involved with all you guys and such a great company that has, total alignment, really good sustainability and consciousness.
Thank you. Yeah, Lisa just wrote, she thought that we have till August 31st for, what was that for, Lisa?
Yeah, Beth cleared that up. That was the Healy Watch Challenge. It goes to the 31st, not the bonus.
Okay.
But Beth, I just wanted to clarify what you just said about downloading the Heal Advisor app that we purchased. You said it will work on any of the devices that we have, but you can only download the app onto one phone. right?
You should like, so I have my iPhone and then I have a Android tablet, and I can download that app on every device, because I simply to when you open the Heal Advisor
All right.
app.
So when you say device, you're talking about your app, like your phone,
Yes,
not your Healy device.
correct. Yep.
So the subscription goes to whatever Healy device I program in that I'm
Yes.
using for that. Okay.
So in the Heal Advisor app, I'll post this as well, because there's 4 different apps that you can download for Healy. None of them, each one of them will work according to what device you have and what subscription, but there's the Healy Analyze, which is the blue dot. There's the Healy app, which is the pink dot. There's the Heal Advisor, which is like the squiggly lines or the wave. And then there's the Healy Watch Connect app. So there's 4 different apps from the App Store. You don't need the Healy Watch app unless you have that. The Heal Advisor is kind of like the main level of where Healy operates. If you don't have any subscriptions, you still want to have that app, because when you log in with your credentials in the app, at the bare minimum, that's where you check your configuration, and you can set your voltage output, or your microcurrent output to either low or high. So it's still useful for everybody to have that. And then that app.
Okay, so hold on. You brought up a good point though, because I think this is Lisa's question, right?
So
is that
go to the device
so you log in, like you log in with your user ID and password that you bought it with, but how does it determine which actual Healy serial number it's changing the output current for?
So that's why they consider or call the Healy Advisor app the overall umbrella, because that is like your master hub. Every single Healy serial number you have associated with your account will propagate into that app. So you will see when you go log into the Advisor app, if you go to all your Healy configurations, it will list every single Healy device that you have associated with your account. So if you earned a free device, or if you bought another one and you have that same login credential, you will see that up there, and you can like select each one and change the output level for each one. Now,
so if you buy the Heal Advisor search, like let's say you had a customer, like you had created a customer for your husband and had a Healy for them, right? If you buy the Healy, the search app as yourself, then you can still just log in. If you wanted to do a search, you would log in as that.
yes.
It doesn't matter if you're on 3 different iPhones, right? But
Right.
then if you wanted to change the output device, the output frequency, high or low, whatever, for that Healy, then you would log out and you would log back in as your husband's customer account so that you could see that Healy. And then you could change the frequency for that. But if you wanted to search, you just log out and log back in as your own account. Is that accurate?
Yep, that's accurate. So whatever serial number attached when you buy the Advisor search app, because that's basically like they look at that as a subscription. So any subscription you're purchasing, you have to attach that to a Healy serial number. So like I bought my animal subscription, it goes to this Healy serial number, but I can have that Advisor app on any of my devices. So I just have to, when I'm using my animal search.
Phone, maybe say phone rather than device. Is that okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure, phone. Sorry, we on all the calls, it's like they refer to smart devices because.
No, just because Lisa was confused before, so I just think if we just have
so
the
basically
two.
on your phone, if you want to log in with your credentials, you'll see any Healy you have associated with your account. And that's how you change the output. But if you purchased your search app on your Healy device number 1, then if you want to access the search app, you want to log in with Healy device number 1. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Just to clarify on that too, Beth, so my understanding, or I think I heard Frank say that like the deep cycle that we previously got when we started, there'll be a 2-week delay before you get access to the Heal Advisor search. Is that correct?
I think, yeah, on the, as far as the search goes right now, I think because they had to.
I mean, if we buy it, but I'm saying new people, brand new people, when they sign up, I heard them say it's like the deep cycle. It's a gift that you get after 2 weeks.
I'm not certain on that. I think it could be. I think their goal in all of this is to, you know, probably come down to like a 24 to 48 period where it, hour period where it activates. But I think right now, since we just so much like data transfer and switch over and this and that, it's some things have taken a while.
Yeah.
My search,
I think it's like done on purpose. It's not like a delay. It's just like, oh, they've got so much. Let's surprise them with a nice gift after 2 weeks, like we do with it. Everyone's going, oh, where's my deep cycle? But they didn't realize that originally the intention was, hey, you've had your Healy for a couple of weeks. Now we've got this lovely gift to give you, which is the deep cycle programs. And that's now being changed over to the Heal Advisor search app. So that was just what I heard. The other thing you said was that when people have it, that things will come up like fitness or something, and they'll go, oh, what's that app? My understanding is, like you said, the search is linked to the type of device they have. So if it's a holistic health, the only things that will come up are the things that are on that device. So is that correct, or have I misunderstood?
I would be interested in checking into that, because what I think you can select, and I'm not sure about this if you can override it, because when you go in,
yeah, that's what I mean. You select it, can't you? Yeah, which app you've got.
So I'm wondering if I know that you have to kind of say, or you have to tell the app what device or what edition you have.
Correct.
But
yeah.
I'm wondering if you can actually, if you don't have all of them, you can
tell a fib.
It looks like Karina has something.
Karina might have the answer to that, I wonder. She's like,
but we can't hear you, Karina.
You can't hear you, Karina, so you might have muted yourself, or your headset isn't on.
Well, her mic doesn't show as muted.
No, she hasn't got a headset in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's on 2 accounts.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So they've changed it. Oh, hang on, I've got an echo that's really annoying.
Oh, can't hear you.
Because I've got my phone on as well as.
Just mute your phone. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, cool. So they've changed it with the Healy edition that you have and the programs that you have. They used to have that it would only give you, for example, if you only had the gold edition, you go in and it would automatically do it, or you'd select the edition. They've now changed it. You can actually pick the program groups when you log into the account. So when you do the advisor module in the app, you can literally select which programs it will do. So yeah, they've changed the setup a bit. So yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
I'm confused. I didn't understand what you were referring to. You go in somewhere and you choose what programs?
In the Heal Advisor search app, when you set it up, you can select which programs you want it to search through.
Okay.
I think that's what Karina's saying.
All right. Now, could I, from what I understand, I could purchase the search app for all of my 3 devices, right? So it would be what, $41 times 3, right? Because I've got.
You don't need to. You're muted, Beth.
Yeah, you don't need to. There would be no reason to.
Because I use my other 2 as lenders.
Oh, lenders, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. Or if you do transfer them down the road, like there would be a reason if they were set up as a new customer, you know, its own customer account or whatever, and you wanted to give it to your niece or whatever, then yeah, whatever login, it's not going to have it. So I do see the value if you ever see one of those possibilities happening, or the loaner concept, and you don't want to give somebody your user ID and password.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that would be the reason. Then the only other thing is, like, each time, if for some reason you have, like, if you're running it for your business and, you know, you have all kinds of, like, if I had all kinds of animal clients stored in, which I don't, but when you log out, it says, are you sure you want to log out? Because unlike the Resonance app, when you store clients and you can save that to the cloud, if you have like a couple animal clients in there and you have it set to remind you to run a certain program each day through your Heal Advisor app, when you do log out, it kind of resets your data. So that would be the only other reason why, if you wanted to associate that, to a certain Healy device serial number, keep them all separate.
And so one of the beauties of that, the search module, is if you particularly want to focus on an area, whereas if you currently use the reference, so the Blue Dot app, what's my highest need or whatever at the moment, Healy will recommend. But if, for example, you just particularly want to focus on your eyesight or whatever, you can go into the search app, put that in, and it will then recommend which programs to run so you can target, focus on stuff. To me, that is the pure genius of, that. So,
yeah. 100% agree.
I've got to go, guys. Thank you very much.
Awesome
Thanks,
work.
and thanks
so
for all
much,
your
Beth and
comments
Jenn.
on the.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, and thanks, Karina, for your comments. I read through all the ones in the chat. So thanks for commenting on that stuff, and also about Mark mentioning about the second member. I don't know, did she already go? Oh no, there she is. So when you said that about Mark, did you mean that if you do place the second member, if you enroll the second member before you place the first one, is that what you were saying? Mark mentioned that does actually happen, that it.
On both points, he said, so if you have to place, and he's saying place them as soon as you sign them up, basically. And then if you don't place them, like say within 10 days, it will automatically be placed. And then if you sign up a second member, so I've heard exactly the same thing from Mark. So.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys. I'll stop the recording that I had here, and then.
Yeah,
Does anybody else have any other questions?
I just wanted to acknowledge you both. Let me acknowledge you, because that was a lot of work. So I and Beth, all the notes that you're doing, you're just saving us all so much time. So just so grateful for you doing that, because I know it takes a lot of time. And Jenn, that's just mammoth to break all that down, think that through, ask people questions, get answers for us, because it, as often, a lot of things aren't clear from the company. So it's just we really appreciate it. I say it's us doing it and 50 million people. I mean, they're doing the best they can. We know that, we understand. I mean, it's a lot of change. So just thank you for summarizing it so quickly and easily for us, that we can just go out and share Healy and we know what we need to do. So just thank you both so much. I really, really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure, and I'll reiterate from being on the road in May with the road shows, and I'm like, a little bit of my heart is breaking right now because I'm not en route to California for Saturday. I just couldn't have too much stuff come up. But as much as and I'll personally admit this too, and Jenn knows, but I have a wee tendency to sometimes get a little hot and just oh my gosh, why is this happening? And but
we've all been there.
Then I step back and I'm like, you know what, this is so good, and it's so monumental of what we're actually able to put forth to people. And I don't know, just meeting and hugging Christian and Frank in person and Adriana, and it's just I can assure you from interacting with them that they are working their tails off, and they are so committed. And the true vibe that I got meeting them was they're so authentic. You couldn't even, you can't fake it. So we are so lucky to be involved with this caliber of people, even though sometimes we're like, why isn't that loaded yet? I mean, oh my God, why is it taking 3 days to respond? So anyways, much love, much gratitude to all of everybody that's involved, and to you guys as well.
Awesome.
I did have another question. I don't know whether you can answer it, but I actually still have 3 unplaced members because one accidentally signed up as a member and didn't mean to be. Another one, she signed up, but then she decided she didn't want to do anything with it. And then a third, and she didn't even buy anything. And then the third, she wanted to sign up under a different name and email address. So I don't know what's going to happen with those three. I haven't placed them, and they haven't been automatically placed, and they've been in there for months. So I don't know with switch over to the new system, what's going to happen with them.
It'll be interesting to see, and hopefully
that they had to go into their back office and request that they be unsubscribed.
Right. I don't think it really matters, honestly. You know, it's not going to affect anything. They just won't, you know, at some point they'll fall off as a member, because when they actually do the yearly fee, you know, they'll at some point, I think they maybe said next year, right, do like the $50 yearly fee to be a member or whatever it's going to be. Then if they're not doing that, they'll just fall off. So I don't think there's really anything to do or anything
if they get placed for some reason, but they're not doing any business, they wouldn't get paid a commission on anything of anybody under them, right? Okay.
No, they wouldn't, because they're not a builder. And, you know, members, builder is the very first rank, and all builder means is that you have 50 in or 500 in downline volume, and you don't get paid anything unless you have that. So, you know, that's just literally the one sale of the gold. But if they haven't done that, they're not going to earn anything. So, you know, and then obviously, you know, once July and August are passed and you have to have the personal subscription volume in order to get paid, then they certainly wouldn't. So no, they won't earn anything.
Okay.
And even if they did, the reality is if someone doesn't set up iPayout,
Right.
they can't get it anyway, and they won't get a 1099. So, you know, it wouldn't go anywhere anyway, but
Okay.
yeah.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I have I'm going to have a booth this on Saturday at Pembroke Mall, where I'm going to be getting to Healy. So that's why tonight was so important for me to understand the new programs, the new, you know, levels and the subscriptions and all that, so that I can explain it a little bit more intelligently on Saturday.
Awesome. Well, good luck. That's really cool. Yeah.
Right.
Cool. Well, yeah, it is nice to have the new entry, like just have that entry point for people and not feel any pressure like that, you know, they have to get a bigger one if they're not ready to. So, yeah.
Have you guys been just quickly, have you been sharing and finding that people are like, oh, I want to get that 40% discount, but I like the idea of choosing a la carte and changing it? Like, are people leaning one way or the other? Because it's kind of like once that 40%, that gets, for us in Australia anyway, like our dollar is terrible. That's getting really expensive if we're paying 100%, you know, we're not getting that 40% discount. So I'm just wondering if you guys have got any feedback on people are preferring to looking at changing all the time, or to just stick with that 40%. It might be different for you guys because it's a bit more affordable, but for us it's getting, you know, really expensive monthly.
Honestly, I don't really think that they have any point of reference for it if they're coming in new. And what I will say is that if they did know before, I think what you'll notice on a lot of the a la carte, that it's broken down in those 4 categories, is actually most of the subscriptions have lowered in cost. So if people do ask, you can say as like a, you know, original member, you know, say, hey, actually, this is really great because the bioenergetic revitalization used to be $58 a month and now it's only $30. So like the extra discounts on top of all that stuff are like even above and beyond, because I think the subscription prices have actually lowered a little bit. And then you're getting even more rewarded when you add, you know, 2 or more. So yeah, the 40% bundle, you know, saves you.
Yeah, it's more the bundle and then losing that opportunity is I guess, because, so what is it? It's like 100 and something for the residents. For us, it's like, that would get up to like nearly 200 a month.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that are going to pay 200 a month to get it. So that's all. I was just wondering if you guys have had much feedback. I haven't shared about the new model that much. So
I haven't had anybody mention it yet, but yeah, and I think it just depends on what their alignment is with the, like, you know, if I don't honestly know if everybody's going to be like, yeah, the pre-selected bundle is like everything I want. So I think most of the feedback I've had is people are like, oh, okay, well, thanks for that suggestion for the bundle, but I actually like to, I want to pick.
Pick their own, because I like that idea too. It's just weighing up well, then that I forego that 40% discount if I ever want to get the full, get everything kind of thing. That's all. Cool. Thanks.
Well, I think the other thing that you can do out of the gate with people, right, is that's included for the first 3 months. So I think it would be really good for us to, when we do have new members, to our customers, to say, hey guys, pay attention, really use it a lot for your first 3 months and see which of those you want, and let them know, make sure they understand. Yeah, if it's the holistic health, make sure they really understand, look, your fitness and your bioenergetic 1 and 2 are free for 3 months. And then they're going to be subscription. So see, do those, are those things that you end up using? Like, use your Healy Advisor search for the conditions that you have. Are there programs within those 3 groups that come up, and try running them and see how you feel? I mean, we all know it takes 3 months to make a real big metabolic change in the body. Now with energy work, things can happen a lot quicker and a lot faster, but if people can use it consistently for 3 months, then even at a, more base energetic level, right, of the physical, they're going to start to see changes. So I think it does, we really want to help people understand that. And if it's the aura, say, look, these are your 5, make notes, keep a notebook. When do these 5 come up for you? How do you feel? Make sure you use them, see if you need them, because once that 3-month period hits, you either have to make a commitment to keep it, or if you say no, that's fine, but just be aware, if you then add them back, you can add them individually, but you can't get that 40%. So it's like, at least they have that time period to really try. So make sure they get, they use that 3 months wisely.
The 3 months,
Perfect. Plus if they're seeing such way improvements, if they document that, like they won't, then all of a sudden they're like, wow, that money is like, that's awesome, well spent. And Stephen Keller mentions too, it's like, if when you upgrade, I think it's like the sleep comes into play at the the resonance level. But if that's their main focus and they see improvements with that, they are literally like, look at all the, we can't make these claims and we're not recording still, but look at all the supplements people are spending money on to help them sleep or whatnot. And if they can knock stuff out with these frequencies, like, it's just, that's where we can help them also kind of weigh that value. Okay, yes, you're spending money here, but where are you not spending money? And you're overall, boosting yourself up there. So I think the fact that we have those 3 months is like an awesome.
Yeah, the 3 months is key, isn't it? And they can.
Yeah. A lot of time to do work with them, and
cool.
And the other option they have, right, at the end of 3 months is, it's about $3,000 US to upgrade to the professional. I know that's, times another 1.8 for Australia. Thank you, KK, for reminding me of the exchange rate. But the reality is, like, if someone, said, like, oh, okay, now I'm sleeping, now I'm doing this. Like, I mean, it costs $3,000 to get a freaking MRI. Like, I mean, it's crazy when you start going to the doctor. I mean, how many chiropractic visits is that, right? At $150 a shot. So it's kind of like, they might at that point be like, actually, I'm just going to pay the $3,000. This is an investment in my health. Again, $3,000 is cheaper than you can even buy a Beamer mat for, period. It's cheaper you can buy a Biomat Queen. Like, they might say, I'm just going to do this and never have to pay a subscription again. So at that point, they have their options. But at that point, they're seeing the results. So.
And the people that have already invested like a big amount on their health, or their illness in the past, which is me, they can see, oh my God, I'd pay that in a year in, whatever, whether it be supplements or, like you say,
I used to do it in a month.
Oh, fuck, shit, yeah, Jojo knows as well. So you get how the people that are going to click with it will get that, So
I totally get that.
Really,
it was just the losing of the 40% discount, that just whether they chose it, but with the 3 months, that totally answers that. I have no question or problem with the value of it at all. It was just the choice between the discount and the a la carte, because a lot of people, I think that would appeal to them, but then it's like, oh, but I really like having access to these extra ones as well all the time. So at least with the 3 months to get to trial and see what comes up, what they use, what they don't, and then they can make a decision either way, or then totally upgrade to the
and I think it's a really I think it's a really smart point too that you raised, Jen. It's highlighting to the people the value of, that 3 months and seeing how much they're going to use it, which is basically to encourage them to, keep it or ditch it. And I thought, oh, that's just a nice, really focal point to bring up. So good tip as per usual, young Jen.
Thank you.
That's why we pay the big bucks, KK.
That is why we pay the big bucks. That's right. Yeah.
That was tongue in cheek, Jen. You know that, don't you?
No, I'm positive affirming. The money is rolling in every which way. I mean,
that's it, baby. Dr. Joe's abundance meditation.
Every
Don't do
day.
it unless you want lots of abundance. Seriously,
that's right.
I've got another question that's just come through from a member while we were on the call. She's purchased the one time for the Heal Advisor search and paid that, $55, whatever it is Australian. And she's just got an email saying that subscription has been cancelled. And that's the first member that I've had that's actually highlighted that to me. So I'm just wondering if that's just part of their process so she doesn't get charged a monthly. Have you guys had any of that going on in the US?
That should be correct from what it sounds like. If they made the purchase and it was queued up to be a subscription, they will get a notification that the subscription is canceled, just so they will not incur an additional charge. Sounds like that's actually on point and on the right track.
I know it sounds right, but I thought if you guys had experienced as well, because I actually got debited because I was previously subscribing to it, and I actually got debited another amount after 1st of July, like the 11th of July. They wanted me to pay again, and I was like, have I heard everything right? Should I not have to pay another $55? So I had a different experience altogether.
Yeah, and I know on my account too, I switched over the animal thing, and I would just keep an eye on it. Tell people to keep an eye on all this stuff right now, just because the systems are transferring.
Yeah,
like I'm supposed to have my animal subscription extended and not pay until October 14th, but on my current account, it says that it's going to charge on August 14th. So I'm going to keep my eye on it, maybe about August 10th. If it still says that it's going to take out a charge, I'll probably it's always better just to go in and cancel, and then they can reset it up, put a service ticket in, they can add it back on for you. Yeah, I think things are still a little wonky, but
yeah, that's fine. And I may get that things are a bit glitchy, like seriously, it's new stuff, and boy, there's a shite load of stuff to do, hey? So, all right. Thanks, everyone.
All right.
cool.
Great to see your beautiful faces.
Well, it sounds like, I think we answered all of the questions. So thanks you guys for being on the call, and we'll post the recording. We'll see which recording worked and get that posted. Just, keep encouraging people to jump on with their questions, Telegram or Mighty Networks, and we'll get them taken care of. And just pray for these new features to be added to the new back office soon.
If you need me, it's awesome to see you all. Have a beautiful evening in the US.
Have a great day.
Thank you, and you as well. Yeah, great day in Australia.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.